Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be my top Jasmine perfumes for spring and summer. So these are fragrances in my collection that I find to have a pretty strong note of jasmine. They're probably not jasmine perfumes except for one in particular. Like there are perfumes out there that are like jasmine scents. These are fragrances that to me, they just have a standout jasmine note. For the most part, a lot of fragrances have some kind of white floral or just floral note in them. And sometimes they come off fruity floral or kind of citrusy. These are perfumes that I can pick up the jasmine. And jasmine is a note, a perfume note that I love, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I always get it. Like I can pick up, I would say, tuberose and orange blossom a little bit better because I don't know, they're a little bit more distinct, but jasmine can come off very well blended, and if it's blended very well, it can come off more like a white floral to me. So I would say that these are fragrances that definitely have that kind of jasmine note. And I'm not going to go into details on the notes, and I am going to sound a little bit kind of like a broken record because for me, jasmine does come off pretty much the same in that it gives me a clean, sometimes green, sometimes soapy effect to my nose. So jasmine is in the group of white flowers, and its odor profile is sweet, white floral, opulent, can be more indolic or greener and fresher when synthesized in a lab. Again, for me, jasmine either comes off white floral, and in that case, that's not when I would include it in this video, or it comes off a little greener and fresher. That's typically how jasmine comes off to me. I do have like one fragrance where it comes off indolic. So we have about 8 fragrances to go over, and I do have one honorable mention. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so first up is Dolce & Gabbana's The Only One Intense. And this was a perfume that I kind of had a love-hate relationship with. I absolutely loved the jasmine coconut kind of creaminess of this perfume that I would pick up in cooler and cold months. And then when it was warm, which in Florida is pretty much year-round, I would get the neroli and orange blossom. It's one of the few fragrances that really change on me during different times of year. There are fragrances that I prefer during different times of year, and they might perform better, or I might pick up something slight, but this was a perfume that literally in cold months I would get that beautiful coconut kind of creamy jasmine scent. And then when I hauled it, like when I first picked up this perfume, I couldn't really get the coconut, and it had this kind of candy orange sweetness that I would always kind of describe in that way, that I didn't know what it was until I started like really learning about neroli and orange blossom and finding out that those are the notes that either on their own or like especially together can give that kind of scent and gives me like a head. So it is one that plays this kind of, I get jasmine during certain times of the year and the orange blossom, but it was that jasmine that I absolutely loved in that fragrance. So this is my first honorable mention, and again, that's Dolce & Gabbana's The Only One Intense. Okay, this next one is one that it gives me more fall vibes. At least that's what I've said in the past, but I have been wearing this one especially because it's become one of my brunching scents, but that's Tuile de Hermes from Hermes. So this actually has tuberose, orange blossom, and jasmine, but I have always mentioned that I get that kind of clean, that clean jasmine scent in here. I even think in the accords they list tuberose, but this to my nose, to me the tuberose and the orange blossom are very blended to be more like white florals. This is zesty, it's warm, spicy. It settles down to be a little bit more of a powdery kind of clean scent. And it's just something about jasmine that can come off a little kind of soapy to me, and it comes off that way in this scent. And it's one that, again, because it's kind of zesty from that ginger and it's got this warm, spicy accord, it is one that I really enjoy like in fall. But I have been wearing this one any chance I can when I know I'm gonna go like on a brunch date. We do brunch a lot here. We like day drinking, and I just find myself reaching for this one time and time again. And again, that's Tulle de Hermès by Hermès. Okay, then next we have Alien by Mugler. And this, I believe they only list 3 notes: jasmine, woodsy notes, and amber. I'm sure there's definitely more going on here. This one, when I first hauled it, wasn't a love at first sniff. I got kind of a soapy, almost screechy jasmine in the opening, and then like a woodsy dry down. I remember when I hauled this one, I liked it, but I wasn't in love with it. And then I wore it around Dennis, and he loved it. And then it did end up becoming a perfume that I really do enjoy. Now, this is a scent that anytime I wear it out, I always get at least 1 compliment. And this isn't a favorite of mine in my collection, but for whatever reason, whenever I wear this fragrance, I get at least 1 compliment. I wore this one the other day to a friend's birthday. We were all meeting up. So when I sprayed it, it was actually, I'm not gonna count Dennis, but he had mentioned in the car, he's like, oh, for once your perfume is overpowering my cologne. Because Dennis is even more of an oversprayer than I am. And us being the last minute people that we are, we stopped off to get, you know, our friend's card and gift card. And as soon as I walked into the grocery store, a woman passed by me and was like, someone smells really good. I knew it was me. So this is a very loud kind of, I don't want to say like screechy, but there is something a little screechy about this one, kind of a screechy soapiness. And then you get the amber and the woodsy base. Now, I do think there are other notes in here. I don't know what they are, because this is, I would say, a unique scent. I will say that the jasmine that's in here, I've smelled in other fragrances, but everything else about Alien makes this one kind of a standout. But I have picked up kind of that soapy, kind of screechy, famous jasmine that's in here. And I've smelled it in other fragrances that I'll go over. I think in my tuberose video, I go over one. So again, that is Alien by Mugler. All right, so the next 3 I'm gonna talk about are more of a citrusy jasmine. I feel like those 2 kind of go very well together. Next, we have Alien Eau Sublime. And this is Alien with a heavy dose of citrus. They definitely list more notes in this one. This one they list lemon, solar notes, orange, mandarin orange, galbanum, jasmine, tiare flower, orange blossom, white amber, vetiver. I don't get a lot of these notes. I don't get tiare flower. I don't get orange blossom. I get a burst of citrus, which is the various citruses that are listed here. I get the amber, the vetiver, and the jasmine. To me, this has the amber, and again, there's woodsy notes in Alien. This lists vetiver. Yeah, this is Alien with a heavy dose of citrus. And again, that very kind of soapy, slightly screechy jasmine. This doesn't come off indolic. Neither of them do. I know that Alien, I've heard that when I've seen a lot of people's reviews. They say that it's very indolic. I don't get that in this scent. I get more of that soapy, clean jasmine scent. I don't get any indolic jasmine. Now, I don't know if that's maybe because I have a new formulation. This is the limited edition bottle that came out, I think, in 2020. So I'm not sure if that's what it is, but yeah. And again, that is Alien Eau Sublime. Okay, another citrus kind of jasmine scent is Versace Eros Parfum. This one, the citrus, because that one has orange. This one is a little bit more sharp. This one has Sicilian lemon, pomegranate, Calabrian bergamot, lemon blossom, jasmine sambac, jasmine, and then it's got musk, woodsy notes. This is another kind of citrus jasmine woody fragrance, kind of like Alien Eau Sublime. But the lemon in here is a little sharp. I almost didn't include this one because this definitely is more citrus heavy. Like, I pick up the jasmine more in this one, but I do find this one to be more white floral than the Eau de Toilette. This is the Eau de Parfum, and I've always said that this one's a little bit more woodsy, but I do also pick up the kind of floral, the white floral in this one, and I do get that clean jasmine, whereas in the Eau de Toilette it's a little bit more citrus fruity. So I did decide to put this in here because it was one that, without even looking up the notes, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that one has a jasmine, and this one has jasmine and jasmine sambac. It's just the citrus in here is a little bit more dominant than I would say in Alien Eau Sublime. But again, that is a Versace Eros Parfum. Okay, another citrus jasmine. We have Atelier des Ors Nuda Veritas. And like Alien Eau Sublime and like Eros Parfum, this is another citrus kind of jasmine scent, but I would say this one's definitely more floral. Those two have a woody base. Alien Eau Sublime has, you know, the warmth from the amber. This one to me is a little bit more fresh, spicy. It doesn't have like the woody base like Eau Sublime and Eros Parfum. This one has, I believe it's AMBRE, and it has oak moss, which I don't really get the oak moss in this one, but I do get that AMBRE. It comes off a little more fresh, spicy, kind of musky. But again, not to sound like a broken record, I get that very clean white jasmine. This is a scent, and the next one I'm going to talk about, they're very bridal to my nose. I find the note of jasmine to be a very like bridal kind of note, just because it gives me kind of that white feeling. These next two especially, I think of just a bride and a beautiful like white dress. This is one if a bride's gonna get married, like maybe outside or it's summer. This is a beautiful kind of citrusy, clean, white jasmine scent. And again, that's Nuda Veritas by Atelier des Ors. Okay, this next one I will say to me is my most jasmine heavy scent, and it's also the only one that I get that indolic side of jasmine, and that is Maison Lancome's Jasmine's Marzipan. This is like springtime in a bottle. This is jasmine, a very beautifully done jasmine scent. It's kind of nutty. It's got this slight sweetness to it. This one has jasmine sambac, jasmine. This one has almond wood, musk, bourbon vanilla, cashmere wood, sandalwood. This opens up with kind of that indolic jasmine, and then as it dries down, it gets a little bit nutty and sweet, and you do get kind of that clean white jasmine. Again, a very beautiful bridal scent. This would last a bride throughout her whole wedding. This is one that is a powerhouse. This one lasts, it projects. This is another one that when I wear it, I don't always get a compliment, but I have gotten compliments when I've worn this one out. It does project kind of loudly, and you know, people around you are gonna smell you. It leaves a very beautiful sillage. So this is probably my favorite jasmine forward scent, and then I would say this one probably follows closely behind just because of the citrus. I love citrusy perfumes, but this is a favorite of mine. And again, that is Jasmine's Marzipan by Maison Lancôme. Okay, and then last we have probably the most summery perfume out of the ones I'm going to talk about, and that is Kayali's Utopia Vanilla Cocoa 21. And this one is coconut, it's vanilla, it's sweet, but you do get that beautiful jasmine that it's in here. So the coconut jasmine that I get in here is very similar to the coconut jasmine that I would get in Dolce & Gabbana's The Only One Intense. I'm not saying they smell the same. It was just that same gorgeous coconut jasmine that I loved about that fragrance that I pick up in this one. Now this one does lean more beachy. It's a little bit more tropical, whereas The Only One Intense to me was more sexy and a little bit more deeper. And I would probably say had a little bit more depth to it just because of all the notes. This one is more coconutty, kind of sweet from that vanilla, and then you get that beautiful clean jasmine. This one has coconut milk, there's honeysuckle, there's gardenia, tuberose, there's jasmine sambac. I don't really get the tuberose or the gardenia in here. If anything, this comes off more white floral, and then again I get that clean jasmine. And then this has ambrette, vanilla, and sandalwood. So there is like a creaminess coming from the coconut, as well as like that creaminess that you get from the note of sandalwood. This scent is beautiful, very tropical. And again, that's Kayali's Utopia Vanilla Cocoa 21. So those are my top favorite kind of jasmine scents. And I know I sounded a little bit like a broken record, but jasmine again either comes off very white floral where I can't tell it's jasmine, or if I can tell it's jasmine, it's typically soapy or just kind of a clean white jasmine. There are those occasions where I do kind of smell them a little indolic, kind of like I do in Jasmine's Marzipan, but for the most part it's just that kind of clean, crisp jasmine scent. So let me know in the comments below, what are some of your favorite jasmine perfumes? But that will do it for today's video. I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye guys.